Y'all acting like white men can't dunk. Get it? Because it's like the original when they said white men can't jump, but now it's white men can't dunk. White men can't dunk. Do you get it? Do you get it? White Men Can't Jump 2023 is a Hulu original directed by Kalmatic, who's done music videos. I don't know what kind of name that is, but nevertheless, this was written by 3 different people. Yes, 3 people were needed to write a remake of White Men Can't Jump, including Ron Shelton that did the original. You know, that wasn't perfect, but had Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson with great on-screen chemistry, and Rosie Perez was also there, doing what Rosie Perez does, i.e., not much. But it had life and energy, and while it wasn't perfect, there was chemistry as far as the main actors, and there was good character development. It felt a little bit organic. It didn't feel like a series of just sitcom set pieces with unfunny dialogue and a musician allegedly in the leading role as the white man, and White Men Can't Jump. Can you figure out how I felt about this movie yet? Can you fucking figure it out? You probably can fucking figure out how I felt about this. Lance Reddick is also in this, the late Lance Reddick, who did pass away a couple months ago, and I really hope there's another movie in the pipeline that he did where his career can be sent out on a high note and not this. Because my God, Lance Reddick, a terrific actor, and very, very sad that he passed away. But yeah, two other people wrote this. Doug Hall, who did Leprechaun 5 in the Hood. And also Kenya Barris, who did Girls Trip, that was fine. Shaft 2019, that was unnecessary. The Witches, that was messy. Coming to America, get it, because it's a sequel. And also Cheaper by the Dozen, that was shoved out or shot out on Disney Plus last year. Yeah, you know, one of the worst remakes, reimaginings, whatever you want to say, in quite a goddamn while. And congratulations, he's penned another one. This movie was terrible. This was absolutely just a complete abomination. I can barely form goddamn sentences to just try to describe the levels of unfunny comedic bullshit that was on display during this. Now, they tried for some heart-tugging stuff, just rip the heart out and start plucking at the heartstrings, and that would have been fine if we had a reason to care about any of the characters. A few of the actors do fine for, you know, the level of writing and talent behind the camera, but Jack Harlow has to be one of the worst goddamn actors that I've seen. If he's a musician, I think he really should stick to that. I have never heard of him before this. I hope to never hear of him again. Simcoe Walls, who was in Nanny, I do recognize him. He actually did all right. He actually is a pretty good actor, and I look forward to him getting meatier roles. Yeah, Lance Reddick, as I said. Tiana Taylor, I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name. She was Imani, the love interest of Kamal, Mr. Walls. And also a very, very lovely woman named Laura Harrier, who is very lovely in this. I look forward to seeing what else she's in. I may have to check her catalog and see what else she's in, because she was actually fine. It's like, there were moments where I was like, okay, this may not be that bad, but pretty much from like the first time Jack Harlow shows up, I'm like, oh, I am in so much goddamn trouble. This guy is unfunny, has no stage presence or screen presence. The level of bad humor on display here, the wide swath of attempted insults. See, Woody Harrelson did great with the insults. Wesley Snipes did great with the insult. You know why? Because you cared about him. Even though the insult started almost right away, it felt like a live environment. It felt like something you could just stumble upon a street court basketball game and be like, okay, these guys are throwing bars and playing for money and everything and having fun. And it felt like something that could actually, you know, maybe somewhat happen. Sure, fanciful for Hollywood. But nevertheless, these felt sort of like real people, even if, again, the movie wasn't fucking perfect. And this is just a series of bad SNL sketches, which is pretty much 80% of SNL now. I mean, honestly, because you can only do sketch comedy like that for so goddamn long before it just goes up in smoke. But basically, yes, a remake of the 1992 original. Here's the quick plot. Kamal was a high school prospect, and he flamed out, unable to get to the NBA because of something that gets revealed a little bit later on. And 10 years later, he's, occasionally, playing a little bit of basketball at a gym, but not playing anything competitive. And then you have Jeremy, Jack Harlow's character, who does, herbal stuff and everything. Not Herbalife, but herbal stuff, like hitting people, smoothies and everything. And he works at a gym and he's trying to be all clean eating. And despite the fact that his ACLs, he's had both ACLs operated on. He used to play college ball. He wants to maybe try to get into playing basketball again. And he has his girlfriend, Tatiana, Laura Harrier, who, again, very lovely and actually really does try here. Tries, even though the writing is about that deep. And any of the characters that try for any emotional depth really, really, really have to struggle and claw to get anything out of this. Naturally, Jeremy and Kamal come together. And the thing is when Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes started doing the hustling and everything, it worked. When Jeremy and Kamal are doing it, it doesn't feel organic at all. It feels like they just, had AI write this goddamn thing, honestly. I actually refuse to believe that the original guy had anything to do with this without maybe his favorite pet being held hostage or something. Like, please, Ron, please have something to do with this because we wouldn't be able to get this greenlit otherwise. So we're going to hold your favorite animal hostage. Because there's no other explanation as to how something could be this goddamn bad. This goddamn terrible. Anyway, so yeah, they have reasons for why they want to hustle and get into this 2-on-2 basketball tournament. Now it's for a $25K prize, and if they win, they can get in to an even bigger tournament, a street ball tournament, with a really eyesore basketball court, and they can win $500K. And that's 3-on-3, but oh great, they could do that. Cool. Okay. Great, whatever. You have Imani, she wants to do salon work outside of her home. Kamal is basically working odd jobs. He's working to knock off like UPS or DHL or whatever delivery thing. FedEx, I believe it's called VTX, which sounds like cryptocurrency, which is stupid, by the way. And then Jeremy's doing his self-help stuff. And basically they end up having to lie to their respective significant others. Jeremy lying to Tati a little bit more because she doesn't want him to play basketball. Even though she appreciates what he does, she gets an offer because she's a choreographer doing dance classes. She gets an offer to go on tour with somebody that I've never heard of. And let's just say certain things go awry and then they have to all come together and they have to all figure out what they're willing to give up and what they're willing to go for and all this and happy sappies, all this and whatever. And it's boring. It's really, really boring. It's unfunny. It's uninspired. It's uninteresting. I'll say that much. And even when they try to have an emotional punch to it, it doesn't work. And it doesn't work because it's heavy-handed. It's just like a playbook or a bingo card where they're like, okay, super annoying character that finally realizes maybe that he should stop being so super annoying, who has a girlfriend that loves him. And then you have the old basketball player like this that needs to get over certain issues and realize that there are certain things in life that are more important than always lashing out. And the girlfriend with the job that just wants to grow her business, and the dad that just wants to encourage his son to play and everything, and all this and bingo. And wait, we get a heavy-handed bullshit, emotional storyline because we have nothing else going for it, even though we have 15 minutes less screen time running for this. 15 minutes less of runtime. With the credits, this is like an hour and 41 minutes, and I believe the other one was about an hour and 55, hour and 56. And that's the fucking ridiculous thing. This is shorter, and it feels longer than the original. Because the original, even though there were a few things they could have cut out, and probably made it about the same runtime as this, whizzed by mostly. This is just terrible. I cannot state enough just how bad Jack Harlow is in this. Laura Harrier, though, good for her. Let's feature her in more roles. Shinqua Walls, let's see him in more stuff. And Miss Taylor, I wouldn't mind seeing her in more stuff. I never want to see this motherfucking Jack Harlow again. God, he's an idiot. Woody Harrelson now could have gone out there and done that stuff. Woody Harrelson pretty much has fried his goddamn brain. He could get out there and do basketball stuff. Oh, wait, he did in Champions that I still haven't seen, but it's on the cock, and I'll check that out at some point. I can't imagine it's nearly as bad as this. The remake of White Man Can't Jump is terrible. It's goddamn terrible. Uninteresting, unfunny. It's just slapped together. It's really, really bad. The dialogue is shit. The attempts by side characters to be funny doesn't work. I don't even remember the names of a lot of these characters. I wrote this shit down. I don't remember a lot of these characters because they don't mean anything. They're just set pieces for this unfunny series of comedic segments that don't have any comedy. So yeah, if you can't figure out that I pretty much hated this movie, I really don't know what to tell you. It's on Hulu. If you want to check it out, there you go. Other than that, I mean, I can't recommend this movie at all. Anyway, let's get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so it turns out Lance Reddick had MS, and he was diagnosed with that, and Kamal got in a fight at his high school game because he wasn't having the best game. He was worried about his dad, and he got in a fight and decked a fan. To be fair, the fan deserved it. In all honesty, if you're going to heckle to that point, you deserve to have your nose pushed in the back of your skull, Con Air style. There you go. That being said, he now has, he still has his anger and everything. He still feels he's let his dad down. His dad has an MS issue later where he says, "No, you did not let me down. I wanted to push you to be great, but you never let me down at all." And Lance Reddick did the best he could here, but his character was one note. I mean, it was. He wasn't given a lot of screen time. And Lance Reddick does, unfortunately, pass away. In the movie. I mean, in real life, yes, but in the movie. And that happens during one of the big championship games that they got. Jeremy has to realize that he needs to stop taking so many pain pills. He gets a suggestion for stem cell research and maybe fix his ACLs, and maybe he could go play basketball, but Kamal clearly has the bigger future. And Jeremy has to realize, hey, I need to stop being a goddamn idiot. I need to stop being a goddamn moron. And why was any of this happening is what I kept writing, what I wrote down several times. The game scenes where they're hustling weren't good. The insults were not good. They landed with resounding thuds like they were Owen Hart in the Kemper Arena. That's not nice, but moving on. Or like Canyon in the Kemper Arena about a year later. Wrestling's weird. This is not about wrestling. And look, anybody that's had bad knee injuries, you always have to deal with them, and it sucks. It really does suck. But they play various songs. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. A lot of the current music that they play, at least I assume current music, isn't very good. There's some... Tati gets a offer to be a choreographer for SZA, whoever the hell that is. I have no idea who that is. Answers in the comments, please. If it's rap, I'm probably not going to listen to it. But there's no chemistry between Jack Harlow and Mr. Walt. Nothing. This is bad. This is really bad. And, I mean, Mr. Walt, he proved in Nanny that he has talent. He's proven in other projects he has talent. So it's not him. I'm blaming Jack Harlow all the goddamn way here. Why can't we be friends? As they're playing through various games and they're trying to win this tournament, and it's not going all that well. Jeremy ends up lying to Tati, and then the game goes tits up, and after Santeria plays and everything, I don't practice Santeria. I would have rather practiced Santeria than deal with this goddamn thing, because I think many things should have been sacrificed, or many people should have been sacrificed, instead of making White Men Can't Jump 2023. So, yeah, they get to arguing, they have their split for a bit, and then they get back together in the most convoluted way. Jeremy is all toasted out on pain pills and whatever. He gets fired from his job. Kamal gets fired from his job because he says, oh, F you, bitch, and F you, and FVTX, which, again, sounds like a cryptocurrency. And then we get flashbacks of Kamal's dad helping him and pushing him. Not trying to push him to be a dick. He just saw the potential in him. And Kamal tries to apologize to Jeremy. That doesn't work. They end up realizing, shit, we need to get into this tournament because the dad's sick. They come up with a way to do some money. Like, I guess they saved up, Imani saved up a bunch of money with her salon, or for her salon, says, I'm going to bet on this. You're not going to lose. Basically, she has the confidence in him. And Jeremy, I guess, is just fine. They bonded over Ed Sheeran. And it was, I think it was Ed Sheeran. It was Ed Sheeran. I believe it was a Justin Bieber song, which probably explains why I had such seething rage for a little bit, because Justin Bieber is an untalented douche nozzle that really doesn't deserve any success. He has no vocal talent at all. But anyway, what ended up happening in this game is the dad ends... Imani gets a call. The dad obviously has passed away because his condition, MS, it's a bitch. I know a few people that have it. It's a bitch. I know that there are certain friends of mine I probably won't have in a number of years, possibly a few, because of that. So I can only imagine what it's like seeing a family member go through that. And if it was in a better movie, then I might care. But there's this cousin or whatever that knocks Kamal, and then he gets punched out by Jack Harlow, which right there, he should just go home and just not go anywhere. He got punched out by an idiot, an untalented musician, untalented actor with frizzy hair. So anyway, and then the line, oh, you act like white men can't dunk, ha ha ha. All three writers in this should be ashamed. Should be ashamed. Whoever wrote that line, how dare you? How dare you? The director putting it in, how dare you? The actor saying that, how dare you? Everybody should have walked off the set. Anyway, so yeah, they end up winning the game and the cash prize, even though Jeremy gets kicked out for punching the cousin. And then Tati comes back from her tour with whoever the hell, again, SZA is, and he proposes to her, says, I'm never going to let you down again, but I'm going to put you first. I'm going to make sure that I'm not the dick. And yeah, he realized that he had a woman as beautiful as Laura Harrier. You better hold on to her. I mean, look at her. I mean, how would you not want to hold on to her? I mean that with respect. And Blake Griffin was also there to present the check, speaking of players that never lived up to their potential, mainly because they shattered their knees. And yeah, that's really about it there. Imani has her salon, and then Kamal actually ends up getting an offer to play overseas, and then gets an offer to play in the Lakers D-League, and maybe he gets called up. So yeah, proof that love conquers all, I assume. I don't know. I don't fucking care. That's it. White men can't jump. There were ideas here that could have worked. Updating the whole thing. And the one thing that I forgot to goddamn mention is that attempts to say race relations, this kind of stuff, are still fucking relevant now. I hate to say it. Things have come a ways. Still haven't come far enough. But again, had it been addressed in a better movie, probably would have meant something. So yeah, this movie gets a resounding F. This is one of the worst things of the year. Because yeah, I've seen a lot of indie horror that's shit. I've seen, some other projects maybe with more money that were shit, but this was just so painfully unnecessary, uninspired, and just unfunny. I don't even know how to describe it. This is terrible. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. Again, F. Resounding F. See you soon.